Iolo, Sarpasunde Caprigbara. The Venavana is located on the flat plain. There are not as many viharas in the other places. A. At Sravasti there is a stopping place called Tche Hao and Tsing Cho. There is another called Mokie Lo Mao Tiang. But there is no third stopping place. B. In the region of Piolo Nisaru, there is only one stopping place, the Vihara of Lulin. Called Liche Pntona, Arsipatana. C. At Piya Visali. There are two stopping places. The first is called Moho Pian and the second Mihia Tche Nan. D. At Kiyochanmi there is a stopping place called Kiuche Lo Un, Gozalarama. In all these regions, there was either a stopping place having a vihara or an empty forest. But Rajagrha had many viharas suitable for meditators, and since these stopping places were in safe areas, the Buddha stayed there frequently. 3. Furthermore, at Rajagrha there were 6 heretic teachers, Fu Na Lo, Purana, who claimed to be omniscient and were rivals of the Buddha. There were also the brahmacarins tch'ang chao, potso sing, kiukia na ta, etc. All the great heretical teachers. Finally, there was the ayusmat che likao utu, tipo tatu, achoche, etc. who wished to harm the Buddha, did not believe in the buddhadharma and were filled with jealousy. Since these individuals were at Rajagrha, the Buddha often stayed there. In this way, near a place where poisonous herbs grow, there must be a medicinal herb. Some stanzas say, if the lion, king of all the wild beasts, roars out against small insects, he is laughed at by all. If it is against the tigers, wolves, and other ferocious beasts, that he roars so powerfully, he is valued by the experts. The teaching masters are like the ferocious tigers, but, in their midst, the Buddha fears nothing. These great sages have seen much, heard much, but amongst them the Buddha is foremost. Since these great sages and great learned one live at Rajagrha, the Buddha often stays there. 4. Furthermore, King Pnpo Solo, Bimbasara, had gone to Kiesaro to see the Buddha and his followers, the 1000 Kifa who had become arhats. Then the Buddha preached to the king who attained the state of Sutio Hawan. After that, the king invited the Buddha in these words. I would like the Buddha and his community to come to my city of Rajagrha and accept, for their lifetime, the clothing, leather, food, beds, and seats and medicines that I will furnish for them. The Buddha accepted his invitation and that is why he frequently resides at Rajagrha. 5. Furthermore, of the 4 directions in Yenphia Ti, the east is the foremost because the sun rises there, next are the south, west, and north. In the west, the country of Magadha is the most powerful. In the country of Magadha, the city of Rajagrha is the most powerful. It contains 120,000 households. After the Buddha's nirvana, King Achoche, whose lineage had weakened, abandoned the great city of Rajagrha and built a small city 1 yojana in size nearby called Pololifutulo, Patalaputra. If the latter prevails over all the other cities, what then should be said of Rajagrha? 6. Furthermore, at Rajagrha there are many intelligent people learned and wise, which is not the case in the other lands. 7. Furthermore, some men, before attaining the path, wait for the time, the place, and the wished-for individual. The Buddha knows in advance that Chaityo Hawanyin and 80,000 devas should attain the path at Magadha in the rock cave. That is why he often stayed at Rajagrha. 8. Furthermore, this land is wealthy. When one begs for one's food, one obtains it easily. This is not the case in the other lands. This wealth is the result of 3 causes. I. King Bimbasara had given orders that food always be provided near his palace for 1,000 pyxis. 2. Jyotikye, born among humans, nevertheless possessed the wealth of a god. 3. Apololo, Apolala, king of the Nagas, was converted because of a good thought and became a disciple of the Buddha. To prevent famines, he caused an unceasing beneficial rain to fall. That is why this country is wealthy. Be thus. After the nirvana of the Buddha, the Stavara Mohokyachō, wishing to gather together the scriptures, looked for a wealthy country where begging would be fruitful and where the scriptures could be quickly collected. After reflecting, he thought of RAJAGRHA where, under the order of King Bimbasara, food was always prepared for 1,000 pyxis. True, the king was dead, but this custom had not been abolished. At RAJAGRHA food was easy to find and the scriptures could easily be collected there. In other countries, this was not always the case. When the alms round is made, the heretics would come to engage in debates. If one debated with them, the gathering of the scriptures would suffer. If one did not engage in debate with them, they would say, "These sramanas are not good for us." For all these considerations, Mahakasyapa chose 1,000 great arhats and went to the Gridrakutaparvata to compile the basket of the texts there. For these three reasons, we know that begging was successful in the land of Magadha. On the other hand, in the Agamas and in the Vinaya, it is said that at Piya Levisali there are often famines. Similarly, the Hyang Nan Tio Pio Nan Tio Long Wang Hyang King says that at Cho Poti also there were famines. There were frequent famines in the other countries as well. But this is not the case for Magadha. This is why we know that Magadha is wealthy and that begging there is successful. 9. Finally, between two mountains, RAJAGRHA is a well-protected retreat. In the other lands, the monasteries are on level ground. Numerous crowds enter, leave, and come and go as they please. These are not well-protected retreats. In the mountains of RAJAGRHA there are many viharas, contemplatives and aryas who all love sheltered retreats settle there in great numbers. The Buddha, chief of contemplatives and aryas, frequently resides at RAJAGRHA. These are the various reasons why he often stays at RAJAGRHA. Buddha's preferences for Gridrakutaparvata. Question. If it is true that the Buddha resides preferentially at RAJAGRHA, why does he dwell more often on the Gridrakutaparvata rather than at Venavana? Answer. I have already answered that question. The Aryas and contemplatives are happy in sheltered places. Question. But at RAJAGRHA there are 4 other mountains. The Pai Piolo Pono, etc. Why does he stay less often there than at Gridrakutaparvata? Answer. 1. Of the 5 mountains of RAJAGRHA, the Gridrakutaparvata is the best. Why is that? Because its monastery is close to the city but difficult of access. This is why the crowds do not go there. But as it is near the city, begging is not tiring. That is why the Buddha resides frequently on the Gridrakutaparvata and not elsewhere.